Hello Year 3, it's Mr Larcombe here. Just so that I miss you all very much and look forward to you all coming back to school soon. It's not the same without you. But today I want to read you a story. It's about one of my heroes, a great man called Martin Luther King Jr. Some of you may have heard the story. It's about a black man who stood up for things that he thought was not right. And he stood up and he used words rather than actions, physical actions, to make a difference. So here's a story. It's by the Little People. It's called Little People, Big Dreams. And you can get books about other people as well. I encourage you to have a look into that. So here we go, Martin Luther King Jr. I'll try and share the picture well so you can see. Here we go. Little Martin was a spiritual boy from Atlanta who came from a long line of preachers. His dad was a preacher, his uncle was a preacher, and his grandfather was a preacher. Maybe he'd become a great preacher. One day, a friend invited him over to play. Martin was shocked when he was asked to leave because he was black. That day, he realised something terrible was going on. This terrible thing was called segregation. It meant that public places, like restaurants and buses, had separate spaces for black and white people. Martin and his friends were sent to different schools. Martin believed that one shouldn't remain silent or accept something if it's wrong. He promised himself that when he grew up, he'd fight injustice with the most powerful weapon of all: words. Martin studied at universities in Georgia, Pennsylvania and Massachusetts, where he read about Gandhi, the man who had improved the lives of millions of Indians with peaceful methods of protest. When he finished his studies, Martin moved to Alabama and became the pastor of a church in Montgomery. Every Sunday from his pulpit, he encouraged his congregation to speak up about things that mattered. So a pulpit is like a box where the preachers used to speak from. A bit like where Dr. Cook would do an assembly from. One evening, a woman called Rosa was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man on the bus. Martin asked the people in his community not to take the bus again until the law was changed. Many citizens were inspired by Rosa's story and Martin's words. Suddenly, buses were almost empty. They stayed empty for more than a year, until segregation on Montgomery buses finally ended. It was the first major civil rights action in America, but not the last. Martin encouraged people all over the country to stand up for their rights and join in with peaceful protests. They were often attacked, and Martin was arrested 29 times. But he and his followers never fought back with force. He knew that hate can't drive out hate, only love can. Martin helped to organise a protest march on Washington where he gave a life-changing speech. You might have heard this. It began with 4 simple yet powerful words: I have a dream. And some of you might have seen that image, that picture before. The next year, Martin became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. His words of hope, of peace and injustice caused the nation to change its laws and make them equal for everyone. And if you listen to your heart, you can still hear little Martin asking you to keep his dream alive. A dream of a world where we are judged by our character, not by the colour of our skin. and then the book goes on to talk about Martin Luther, what he went on to go and do after that. Thank you so much for listening. I challenge you to think about that and how it affects us, and the changes that you can make. But what was so special about Martin, he made changes through his words, not through force. Okay, hopefully speak to you guys soon. Have a great rest of the day, and take care. Bye bye.